To call this meeting to order, and will Director Sell please lead us in the flag salute. Will Director Murray please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order. We have roll call.
Okay, we are missing Director Hauk, Director Lund, and Director England.
And do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Discussion? Vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? It passes. And we have some, we want to move to adopt the agenda for this evening.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? It passes unanimously. And now we move to administrative reports. Mr. Reese.
Hello.
Test.
There we go. I'm filling in for Mr. Reese tonight. He's not feeling well, can't talk, so you get me. Tonight we have Mr. Josh Wagner with us from the middle school. He's going to be talking to us about the service club that is run at the middle school. Without any further ado, Mr. Wagner.
I'll be talking about the middle school service club for a couple of minutes while the projector warms up. I'll just let you know that about 7 or 8 years ago, Mr. Yavich and Natalie Snyder came up with the idea for a service club at the middle school. And the idea was basically to give middle schoolers an opportunity to volunteer in that community and just kind of get a little experience of what it's like. And the goal was to provide volunteer opportunities in the community and to, with our middle school aim of helping others. Basically the way it works is once a month, students meet after school. We spend about 2 hours somewhere in the community volunteering. We're usually back by around 5 o'clock so that they can catch the activity bus. But the idea is to do something that's fairly fun. We give them a snack at the end of it. And if they come to 2 service club trips throughout the course of the year, we give a t-shirt to them at the end of the year. So just to give exposure to community service for middle schoolers, but at the same time helping them experience how important it is. So the trips that we do, in September we go to Levis Park, and Ross Henderson is the curator there, and we pick up sticks, and we have power washed picnic tables before and things like that. October, the students make hats with Mrs. Alquist, which we later take in January to LCCM to give to the needy in the community. November, we go to the Lebanon Historical Society, where students have done digital scanning before. They've also done, we usually decorate their bookstore for Christmas and do some other things at the Lebanon Historical Society. In December, you see the picture up in the right-hand corner, we go to Matthews Library in Fredericksburg, and the students get a chance to kind of paint the windows with some holiday-type pictures that really just kind of makes it very festivus in the Fredericksburg community. So January, we go to Lebanon County Christian Ministries and we deliver the hats that the students made. The students made this year, we had over 50 knit hats that the students made with Mrs. Alquist. And they do a lot of bulk food breaking down there. Lebanon County Christian Ministries gets these huge, hundreds of bagels come in at one time, so they'll break them down into smaller portions that can be given out to families in need. So the students do a lot with that. in January. February, we go back to Matthews Library and we clean the windows. So the students paint the windows, but we have to clean them up. Somebody's got to clean it up. So we go back and we clean the windows off and take the Christmas tree down and things like that. March, we'll be going to Joy Food Pantry in Jonestown, where the students will do a lot of food sorting. They get lots and lots of food donations in that need to be sorted and checked for dates and things like that. April, we go to CATRA, which is the Capital Area Therapeutic Riding Association in Grantville. They have a lot of animals there, horses and goats and a whole bunch of different animals that are used for people who have disabilities, and it's kind of a therapeutic thing. They can go there and ride. And the students basically go there, and essentially what we do is we shovel out the pens. So the students get to shovel some poop for a couple of hours, but they get to pet the animals at the end, and it's a good experience with community service from that standpoint. And finally, May, we wrap up going back to Levitt's Park. Ross has, usually there's more sticks down by that time, so we'll clean up sticks at Levitt's Park again. I have a couple of pictures here from making hats and also from painting the windows at Fredericksburg. And then the last slide here is just kind of, what's the point? The payoff is that students get this exposure of community service. As 11 through 14-year-olds, they're getting some exposure. This isn't hardcore. We're not going for 8 hours in a day on a Saturday and just working until the kids fall over. It's an hour and a half or so after school, and then, like I said, we give the reward of the snack. So far this year, over 35 students, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders have volunteered. Over 9 staff have helped chaperone, and we put in over 180 service hours so far this year, with 3 more trips to go. So that's the Service Club in a nutshell, and what we do at the Middle School Service Club. So a big thanks should go to Natalie Snyder and to Mr. Yavich for starting the club, but that's what we do.
Mr. Keener?
Good evening, everyone. Is that on? Good evening, everyone. With all the excitement in this area with Farm Show, and because I have zero agriculture background, but I see the amazing, exciting things that we do in our agriculture program, I went and asked Ms. Oberst if she could have some of her students come in to talk to you guys about the neat things that are going on in the ag program and as related to the farm show. So I have 4, 5, 6 kids. It depends on activities and the weather. We got a little goofed up with schedule, but I have some kids that are going to come in and talk to you about what's going on in our ag department. So come on down, guys.
All right, good evening, guys. My voice is loud. All right, I'm Owen Stover. I'm the president of the Northern London FFA chapter. And with Farm Show, there's a few different award ceremonies and different things like that that go on. I'm here to talk about 2 of the bigger ones, the Keystone degree and the freshman jacket process, what goes into that. So for Keystone degree, a lot goes into it. The members need to have $1,000 invested into an agricultural SAE project, or 300 hours invested into it as well. You have to have 4 years of ag, so you have to at least be a senior, and all of that stuff. And there's a long application process, and everything needs to be perfect. So it takes a lot of hard work and time and dedication to reach that point. So by going to the farm show, the seniors that get their Keystone degree have an opportunity to be recognized and applauded for all of their hard work and achievement. And also for Northern Lebanon, we had the second highest chapter, second highest number of people receiving the Keystone degree in our chapter in the state. So that's something to be proud of. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is our freshmen. They have a chance to do an application process that allows them to get a free jacket. FFA jacket, the blue corduroy. So they have to fill out 3 different essay questions and send those in, and then they're considered to get their free jacket. This year, I believe we had either 3 or 4 that had the opportunity to go and get their free jacket. They were also recognized in front of a big crowd, and that's just something cool and neat for first-year members to experience. Getting recognized, being a member, and really getting their jacket and entering the world that FFA has to offer is just a really neat experience. So those 2 ceremonies are great overall.
I'm here to talk about the entries that we do in class. We do 2 classes that really have things to enter. We do a greenhouse landscape class where you can enter a 24 by 24 inch box. That's a landscape or a hardscape. You get to go against different kids from different schools in the state. You have the option, or if you earn it, you win prize money and recognition by it being displayed throughout the entire week of Farm Show, where people get to go and look at it. Then there's also food science, where you get to make baked goods or other less perishable items that get judged and tasted by a panel. You again can win premiums and things like that through it. It took a little while for kids to get the recipes right, and it just took a good amount of work to get it done. And then also the State Star application. 2 students went into the regional contest to earn a star in 4 different areas: agri-science, agribusiness, ag production, and then placement. And out of those, we had 1 student get agri-science, and then the other one unfortunately did not get hers in ag production. But then he went on to the state contest against the other 4 regional competitors in the state. Had to do an interview, give all of his record books that pertain to that event, and through it had the opportunity to win $500 and move on to the Big E, which you go against 13 other state winners to see who wins. But he didn't win it, and that's what I'm here to talk about.
I'm Vanessa Stickler, and I'm the student advisor for our FFA chapter. A lot of the kids from the FFA go up to Farm Show to compete with their animals, and I took my rabbits up. And we also compete in like showmanship and skillathon, which are other contests. And we held an educational table to teach the public on basic care.
Alright, I'm Melina. I have cows and I took them to Farm Show. I've been doing that for the past multiple years. Through FFA, I've been able to show in both youth and open, which is 2 different categories of cows. When you're showing, I was able to compete in showmanship along with my classes and my younger siblings. It's a great way to educate people of the difference, like in hay and straw, along with how to be safe around cows and everything else.
I'm Haley. I'm the treasurer for our FFA chapter. At the farm show this year, I was able to enter different foods that I learned how to make in my food science class with Miss O. Even though I did not place, it was really cool to see how many different foods were made. Last year, because of my floriculture class, I placed second with my wreath and third with another floral design that I had made with Miss O. I really enjoyed being able to see my entries on display when we went up there. I want to thank the school board and our principals for giving us the chance to enter and to see our designs. It means a lot to us and all of us who entered and showed at the farm.
Thank you.
Just a shout out to the FFA. Thank you for that presentation. I was definitely taking notes here. There's a lot to what you do. Thank you. Mr. Yavich, you have the presentation.
Okay, I have the privilege tonight to share with you a number of championship teams from Northern Lebanon. If you look over on the table there, you're going to see quite a few league trophies, something that we aspire to every year. And we've done quite well in the fall sports and the winter sports. And I'm going to have the coaches tell you a little bit about that. We'll start with Mr. Wall with the football team.
last year, we presented the first section trophy in 23 years, and we were pretty pleased with that. But this year was a real special year because it's easy to win one championship. Well, maybe not that easy, but you don't get everyone's A game every week. This year, our goal was to come back and win back-to-back, and it was just probably looking at it as, success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And this season was, for our players, it was like a microcosm. We had some really high highs and some really low lows, and through it all, they just kept plugging away right in that middle ground and stayed focused. Because, like I said, I think the game for us, that really, or for me, I was on my way over, I'm trying to figure out how many years I've been coaching. I was counting, I'm onto my third hand already. But the game against Elko, we made a mistake, gave them the ball, they took the lead late in the game, and at no time did we ever feel, or I didn't feel, that we were out of it. And then 3 plays later, we scored. I'm like, man, we scored too fast. There's still 1 minute and 20 seconds left, and then we picked off the ball, right, Blaze? The one catch he has all year, made it count. And that's when I realized that we had really arrived as a program, because, like I said, it's easy to do it one time, but to get everyone's A game week in and week out, and we didn't sneak up on anybody, and to set a goal and to achieve that goal was a really a fun year for us. And one of the high points for me was when we were on Red Ribbon Week, when we took all our seniors to the various elementary schools, and they got to interact with the younger students, and it was like a big pep rally. They'd walk in, they'd be shaking the pom-poms, and I promised I wasn't going to make them talk tonight. I did make them talk at the Red Ribbon Week, so they just have to have George come up. He likes to talk, right, George? Yeah. But I can't be any prouder of the team that I've coached in almost 30 years of coaching for what they were able to accomplish. And before I let George take over the mic, I do want to present our second trophy. Now our goal this year, our motto was back-to-back, so I have to be careful with three-peat, because I think Pat Riley still owns the trademark to that, and I don't want to get another cease and desist email like we did from Texas A&M when we tried to use 12th man. So I don't know what our motto is going to be for this coming season, but I know that we're going to be competitive, and I know our players are up for the challenge, and I can't say enough for our senior class, who sort of stepped into the role last year as juniors, and they were kind of along for the ride, and I told them that, this year you're in the driver's seat, and they just took it. It was just a crazy year. We scored so many different ways, and it was fun. The 2 longest interceptions for touchdowns in the LL League were by one of our defensive linemen this year. I mean, that's just how crazy things went. But this was truly a special year, and I do want to give the trophy just because it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to these players and for what they were able to do. And I do want to acknowledge my assistant coaches and support staff, because without them, it wouldn't have been possible. Phil Williams and Chris Miller have been with me since day one. Rusty Wallace came on a couple years ago, and it's really helped out getting a lot of wrestlers out for football. And some of Matt, I believe you've been at a section championship every year in almost every sport. So we've had a lot of success that's carried over from playing multiple sports. We have Darren Dietrich, who's been with me since day one, helping out. Trying to think, Zach Zerby, our trainer, and Logan, what's Logan's name? Trout, couldn't think of the last name, okay? He's been with us, and thank you. Again, as I get older, I blame everything on post-concussion syndrome, so I have an excuse. But always, the people that help us out, Mrs. Hope with our scheduling and stuff, just hope I didn't miss anybody, but it was really a fun year. And George, you can. Yeah, I've had him twice in class. He always had plenty to say. Now
you covered it all.
All right. Anyway, I'd like to present the trophy. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll do wrestling next. No, I'm not going to do wrestling next. Girls first. Let's go. All right. Another really exciting year that we've had was with the girls basketball team, and Coach Battistelli and the girls are going to come up now and share a little bit of that with you.
Hi folks, I'm here today to present to you the first section championship for the girls basketball program in the last 30 years. We also made it to the Lancaster League finals game. It was the first year that in the history of the program that Northern Lebanon had ever hosted a playoff game. The first year that we had ever won a playoff game, and we went on to win 2. Right now, our record is 23-2, which I think is by far the best in the history of our girls basketball program. Both of those losses came to the same team, and if there's any luck, we will be seeing them again soon, Saturday, and we have every intention of rectifying that situation on the grandest of stage. You know, I wasn't really prepared to talk today. I just rushed out of practice. You can see we look a little bit motley. But I would just like to say that I'm really thankful that I'm the person standing here in front of these girls. I think they're a remarkable group of young ladies. You don't get to be 23-2 without showing up with your hard hat on day in and day out. As you can see, there's no 6-foot, 240-pound girls behind me. We get it done with heart and hard work and the will to play together for each other and as a team. And you know, I think anybody who's seen us this year can see that there's pretty special collection of kids out there. I don't want to say too many nice things because they do tend to get a little cocky, and we have a lot of work ahead of us. We are fortunate enough to host our first round district game tomorrow. I've already been told that Milton Hershey is shipping in 200 kids to put in our little gym. So I hope we squeeze in about 450 of our fans there. And you know, I think we're going to show up one more game and make this school proud. And then, like I said, Lancaster Catholic one more time. You know, we're gonna go to war one more game, and we're not done yet. You know, it's a really great feeling to know that we get to walk out that hall more. So I'm glad to be here. I know the girls have things they'd like to say. They had prepared a song. Do you guys have anything you'd like to say? You know, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of this to this program that is really neat. I don't know how many of you are aware, but On our staff at the high school, I coach with my brother, my sister, my best buddy, and we have some volunteers that are kids that I've coached in the past. These girls call my mom and dad, Momo and Paul Battistelli, and give hugs and kisses, and it's a pretty great atmosphere. And if you want to hear the whole story, then you can come to our banquet after the season, but the season's not over yet, so I'll leave it at that.
Coach, what time tomorrow night is that game?
7 o'clock.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we also have the wrestling team. And I don't know how many hugs and kisses these guys have given you over the years.
I'm Coach Brian Campbell, assistant coach. Rest you all is at another wrestling meeting tonight. So I'm here to introduce the wrestlers. They are not allowed to talk. They're supposed to be in their best behavior. They're going to be recorded. Keep that in mind. We had an incredible season. We won our 4th second title this year. Won the league title. Last year we were 3rd in the league, and that was a big deal because we were the first small school to ever win 3rd. This year we took it all, won it, and that's pretty cool. Big trophy over there for that. Went down to Virginia, wrestled really tough teams down there. We ended up being the 7th best team in Virginia, the 2nd best team in Virginia, and the best team in Virginia. 3 straight matches. Ended up wrestling Nazareth in the finals, who placed 4th in AAA and lost to them. We wrestled a really good match against that team. So it shows you the competition you had to go against this year. District 3 won the district title, ended up being Boiling Springs, who was state champs last year, 5-time defending champs. No one's knocked them off in forever, and we ended up taking to them. Really cool match. First time their crowd's been quiet in a long time. So that was really nice. Overall, it's a great team. They have a 3.1 GPA, which is incredible that they work hard in the classroom and in the wrestling room, so we're really proud of them for everything they're doing. And that's all I really have to say, because they're probably getting antsy and they want to go home now. They had an awesome practice day from what I hear. Once again, we're excited for postseason. Individual starts this week, and we'll go hopefully 4 straight weeks with game to states.
I just wanted to say I am so proud of these coaches and these athletes. They really put a lot of effort into earning these championships and a lot of hard work. And even beyond that, we often get people say how well behaved and how respectful our athletes are and our students are, and that's just a wonderful thing. And again, I'm very, very proud to be part of this program and part of this athletic program. One thing I just wanted to share with you, one last thing here. In our girls soccer program, just to give you an idea of the kind of athletes we have, I got an email from the Susquehanna athletic director. It says, "Good morning, Dave. As school administrators, we are regularly bombarded with negatives and rarely get to hear positive feedback, so please feel free to share this with anyone you wish. The girls soccer program at Northern Lebanon High School is truly a class act. I received a get well card that your team sent for our player, Amber, that was injured in our game on 9/24. Amber is doing well and hopes to be back to participate in the winter basketball season. I must say, in my 10 years as an athletic director, I have never been as impressed with another school's team as I am with your girls' soccer team. The thought to send such a card speaks volumes to the leadership of that program and the character of the girls on that team. I was truly moved by the gesture, and I know that Amber was as well. She told me that she wants to write a thank you letter to your girls, and I truly hope that she follows through on that instinct. Too many times our students, coaches, and even we as ADs get caught up in the competition, desire to win, and expectations set upon us by outside influences that we lose touch with our innate compassion and can miss opportunities to teach life lessons that aren't always associated with the normal realm of sports. Please share with your coach and team my deepest regards and best wishes for the remainder of their season, and my heartfelt appreciation for compassion that they have shown a complete stranger in our time of need. So I just wanted to share with you, I wanted to share that with you just because, again, that's something that happened with the girls team, but again, our athletes are very, very respectful and well-behaved, and I'm very proud of them, and I would take them to any event and be happy to be with them. And not only that, they've been very successful. So thank you for your support in all of this, and we've got a lot more to go yet. So thank you. And I was almost missed something. Josh wanted me to talk a little longer. I do want to introduce somebody that's very, very important to make this whole program happen. It's my secretary, Amy Hope. Would you please stand? And everybody in the high school will attest that she's the main reason for a lot of this success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yovich. Next thing is special presentations. The high school student of the month for February, excuse if I mispronounce the names, is Azure Bird and Josiah Kerstetter. This award is sponsored jointly by the Fredericksburg and Jonestown Lions Club, and each recipient will be recognized at a future meeting of the Lions Club. The middle school student of the month for February is Catherine Swinehart. This award is sponsored by the Northern Lebanon County Rotary Club, and each recipient will be recognized at a future meeting of the Rotary Club. The East Hanover Elementary student of the second marking period is Eli Cozy. This award is sponsored by the East Hanover Lions Club. Now we have a report from our student representative, Haley Reinbold.
So some of the past events have been, the students from the Ag Department went to ACES this past weekend, which was an annual conference that we go to, and we do workshops, and we have a dance, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of the students enjoyed the snowball dance, which was February 6th. A lot of FFA students did well at the farm show, as they talked about. Last week was National FBLA week, and they did a care package to take to the armed forces. Some of the present events are tonight the class of 2016 is doing a fundraiser for the upcoming class at Texas Roadhouse. And student council is continuing to prepare for the conference that will be held at our school this year. And the only future event is the musical. The performances are coming up in March, and the dates for that are March 10th, 11th, and 12th at 7:30. There will also be one on March 7th at 3:30 for people over 60.
Thank you, Haley. Now, any old business? Do we have any public input forms? I don't see any. Is there anyone that has a last minute change of heart and would like to have any public input? If not, then let's go to our consensus item, or agenda. Director Sal.
I move the consensus agenda.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Bixler.
Yes.
Howe.
Yes.
Erdman.
Yes.
Murray.
Yes.
Heckman.
Yes.
Sell.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
All in favor.
Moving on to management, I'd like to move item 8.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Yes.
Okay, Howe. Erdman. Murray.
Yes.
Heckman.
Yes.
Sell.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Bixler.
Yes.
All in favor.
Anything else from the management committee?
With the snow last week, we weren't able to have a 6 o'clock management meeting to look at. We have discussed having a management meeting to review the budget and make preparations, especially in area of personnel. I'd like to reschedule that for the first Tuesday of March, Mary, if possible, 6 o'clock management, and I would definitely welcome your input, especially David, because you have the experience, so if you'd like to come and give input on that, we would appreciate that. That concludes management.
Thank you, Director Sal. For Programs Committee, Director Murray will take over.
Okay, so move item A.
Second it.
Discussion? Vote?
Erdman,
Yes.
Murray,
Yes.
Heckman,
Yes.
Sell,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Bixler,
Yes.
Hauk.
Yes.
All in favor?
Move to item B.
Second it.
Discussion? Vote?
Murray,
Yes.
Heckman,
Yes.
Sell,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Bixler,
Yes.
Hauk,
Yes.
Erdman.
Yes.
All in favor?
Move to item C.
Second it.
Discussion? Vote?
Heckman,
Yes.
Sell,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Bixler,
Yes.
Hauk,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Murray.
Yes.
All in favor?
Is there anything else, Director Murray, from the Programs?
No, no, thank you.
Thank you very much. Director Bixler for Property and Service.
I move item A.
Second.
Discussion? Vote?
Sell,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Bixler,
Yes.
Hauk,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Murray,
Yes.
Heckman.
Yes.
All in favor?
Move item B.
Second.
Discussion?
Are we, this is about the farm.
Yes.
I guess my only thoughts were at the last meeting when we just, well, the meeting when the farmer came and the gentleman from the Mennonite school. I just wanted to kind of reiterate that, which is, they were asking for an exception on 3 acres of their farm and for clean and green. And so we're looking to, or this is a request to forgive the 40,000 rollback taxes, is that, okay. And so I just wanted to verify, Dr. Bell, last time when you said about making the exceptions, you said there were 2 things that it kind of fell over, could fall under. Could you explain that again? Like to make the exception?
You can make any exception that you want. Basically, there's nothing that ties directly from the Commonwealth law in relationship to the exception, but it covers a variety of different things, such as a school district as well as a church organization. I think it covers into both of those situations, but not one that's specific.
Did we ever find out, I know Stacy, I talked to you a little bit, did you find out the question, answer your question?
No. I had a question in regard to whether it would be a financial benefit to the district if we would forgive this tax, but in subsequent years, we would gain tax revenue because it would be at a higher tax rate as it goes on. I don't know if anybody can answer that.
I'm not sure I understand your question, but those 3 acres with that school on, they're exempt.
Oh, it's...
It'll be exempt as a school.
Okay.
Was that your question?
It is, yes, thank you, yeah. So, I mean, at this point, I would say, my vote is going to be no, because I don't see a financial benefit. I feel like representing taxpayers and representing students that I can't vote yes when I feel like it's not benefiting our taxpayers and our students.
I'll address some of that.
Okay.
First of all, it's a $40,000 rollback because they're going to make him pay taxes for the whole farm. The 3 acres would have came to about $120. Okay. To me, those Mennonite farmers pay a lot of tax in our school district, and they use nothing. They don't use our buses, they don't use our buildings, they use nothing, okay? Because they choose to send their children to Mennonite school. So for me, personally, I think it's a goodwill effort to let them, I mean, he could have sold them that 2 acres of land very easily, just like that, because you're allowed to do that in green and clean. The reason he had to ask for the exceptions is the building's going to take up about 2 acres, and they wanted an acre for a playground. To me, I'm sorry, but I just think that's us saying to them, we welcome you as our neighbors, okay, and we respect your schools. That's my opinion, okay? I respect your opinion,
Sure.
but, you know, to me, it's $120 that we would have got per year on that land.
Okay. That's helpful. That's helpful.
My thought process is, while I understand the specifics of this individual situation, I just think it's opening Pandora's box to make an exception. Are we going to say, what if it's we're really not exonerating the Mennonites, we're exonerating the farmer, first of all. And how do we start determining what's acceptable and what's not? And it doesn't, I mean, just reviewing, I was in that meeting that night, it doesn't seem like it falls in the category of a church, it doesn't seem like it falls in the category of a school district, so it's almost a gray area. And I keep going back to your conversation that you had with the gentleman that you talked to.
Yeah, the conversation I had, the way Mr. Conley from Clean and Green, he's in charge of Clean and Green, the way he described it, his thought was that the property would be considered commercial use. He considered it commercial use. You can take a property and build a home on it if it's a 2-acre lot, and he felt that, you know, this doesn't fall under a single residence home. It is a school. There's going to be multiple vans or buses, employees going in and out. So he considered it commercial use. So in his mind, we'd be allowing it for commercial use, which doesn't fall under the exception of Clean and Green. And then we'd also be allowing 3 acres to be used for Clean and Green when the amount you're allowed to use is 2 acres. So I asked if this was done anywhere else in our district, and he said that it was done on another farm with a Mennonite school, and the way they avoided the taxes was the farmer donated the land, and that made it okay that taxes were forgiven. Mr. Ziegler commented on that and said he wasn't able to afford donating the land, and I understand that. I just think farmers, when they sign up for Clean and Green, they realize going into it that it's an all or nothing thing. You're signing up for the tax break. And just my opinion, if we forgive the $40,000 in back taxes, it's kind of like you get your cake and eat it too. You get the tax break for the last 5 years or whatever. You get to make a nice profit on the land, and then we get to go right back into that tax break at Clean and Green. I just think it kind of goes against the spirit of Clean and Green and why the law was rules are created for it. I understand what Bonnie's saying, you know, that the farmer should be able to do with what their land they want to, and it's only 1 extra acre, but, you know, the rule is the rule. Whether or not we agree with it or not is something else, but because the rule is written like that, I'm just going to have to vote with my convictions when I vote on this. That's all I have to say.
Any other discussion? Pretty lively discussion, and I would say that, you know, to me, it's good that we have this discussion and that we all are open to the fact that we will vote differently on this particular topic. I did voice my opinion earlier about setting precedent, but I did also appreciate them coming in and talking to us and kind of giving us some background as to why. But I think that, yeah, it is definitely a tough call. Bonnie, do you have anything you want to say in closing?
No, I pretty much said what I believe, and I know that he signed up, and I know he knew the rule, but I'm still saying that those people pay us a lot of tax money, and I just think, how many schools are going to ask for schools? You know, it's, to me, I just think it's a way of saying to them, thank you for giving us money that they don't use. I mean, they don't get a cent of usage out of the money that they spend paying taxes. And their taxes are way more than you can imagine.
Bonnie asked me to add, what was presented, just so everybody's aware of this, was an opportunity for an individual to look at addressing taxing agency, you're one of the 3, and the Pennsylvania Code identifies granting or donating land in a taxing agency that they can, meaning this taxing agency by law can forgive and roll back taxes. You actually can do that for a variety of different ways, or you can simply do that on your own. It depends. There were a variety of things in a packet of information that we would have received, split off tracts. In addition to that, how you would do that, how it complies with the law, what it identifies. This might be some of what you were talking about, Beth. A school district, a municipality, a county, a volunteer fire company, a volunteer ambulance, a nonprofit that qualifies under the Internal Revenue Service with facilities, a religious organization, but that organization or building use is for the construction of a church, synagogue, or other place of worship, including meeting facilities, does not specifically include schools. But those taxes can be forgiven if a board chooses to do that. If you want, my recommendation was put on this to forgive those back taxes in a way and set a precedent which would be setting parameters for limiting land and property to a maximum of 5 acres, and accept parameters that would also include only a school, not necessarily just selling land off for clean and green, however you would like to. But as been said here before, 2 acres can be sold to somebody to put a home in, and that you don't really necessarily have to worry about rollback, because by law they take that out of your hands. It's rolled back and you don't get a choice. So if you want to look at the big picture of it, does it fit into something in a perfect picture frame? No. Does it give you an opportunity to do what Bonnie's talking about, addressing the people who have paid taxes to a significant level? Yes. Is there concerns about signing up for clean and green taxes? Yes. The rollbacks are, the amount of money is on the entire farm, not the 3 acres. The 3 acres would have garnered you $120. And if you choose not to utilize or go in that direction, then you don't need to use parameters. If you do, my suggestion is that you do set up some parameters for people who would possibly want to do this in the future.
There's one more thing I would just like to throw out, because as you can see, I am I'm still thinking, as I tend to be, think things through maybe too much. But the one issue that I wanted to bring up and maybe discuss, and that is, if it is $120 money that worth of taxes that he would be able to go down, he will though still pay the same taxes. We're not losing $40,000. We are simply exempting him from paying this. And when he signed up for Green, yes, I realized that he should have thought this through, but I got the impression from his meeting that he would not have just done this just to do it. He did this because he thought it was they would make a good neighbor. It was would benefit the community, education. And so his reasoning for doing that was different, and the reason he brought this up was he wanted to be able to sell this, but he could not sell it, adding the penalty for the green and clean. So I don't know if anybody had any other thoughts on that, as far as, where the school district will not lose any money, $100, but we'll definitely get a good neighbor. People that go there are going to have to stop by other locations and eat, maybe at the diner, Esther Diner, or whatever, bring their kids back and forth. There certainly would be an impact on the local economy by having a school that size. So just some thoughts. I'm just kind of thinking out loud as far as some things maybe we have thought or not thought, trying to stay neutral in the conversation.
I understand what you're saying, Glenn, about not losing money, but I'm not sure if I understand this part. If the sale did occur, a lot of times when sales like this happen, the back taxes are figured into the sale price, which I think you just discussed, right? You said it could be figured in, but he might not be able to sell it because they might not pay that price for it, right?
Right. Okay. I guess it was $40,000 he would have to tack onto.
Right, onto the sale
and
price.
it wasn't $40,000 for the 3 acres. It's just they think of the entire farm.
Right, I understand that. Yeah.
So it's kind of a catch.
So we're not losing $40,000, but if he would make the sale, we would gain $40,000, right? Because is our school entitled to the back taxes?
No, that's what we are. They're not back taxes. They're just taxes that.
Well, they would be.
That green. Well.
That were never paid because he was clean and green.
Right.
And the school would get. These are the school taxes we're talking about.
Right.
So we would get $40,000 if he sold it. No. What we're saying is $40,000 back taxes go
No, he would have to pay it if he sold it, you're right, but he's not going to sell it.
Right, but if he sold it, if he did sell it and it's not approved by us to forgive it, the school would gain $40,000.
If our understanding that they would not buy it if those taxes.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying, but a lot of places that do want to buy something, it can be bought with that price, with the taxes figured into the price. And I understand they might not be interested in buying it with the $40,000 added on to the price. I just wanted to clarify it for my own brain that yes, we're not losing 40, but if the sale did happen and we didn't excuse it, we would be gaining 40. Is that right? Am I saying that right? If we didn't forgive the back taxes and say he wants to sell it for $10,000, we don't excuse it, so he sells it to him for 50. The school's going to get 40 and he gets his 10.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Sorry, real quick, Dr. Bell. They had approached someone else before, right? Was it the county? It was denied previously, and then they came to us as a last resort or something?
Yeah, actually, they went to the county for a total exemption to cover all clean and green, which would cover local as well as the school district and the county. The county did not give them that forgiveness, even though, quite frankly, our tax is really the large tax.